Hello everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to add custom test points to Allegro to test the processed PCB performance. When we conducted the PCB design, test points are usually added at some key locations on the PCB. So how to add test points correctly in Allegro PCB software? Let's introduce it below. The first is the common setting of test point parameters. Click Manufacture Test Prep Parameters menu. Then select General Parameters in the pop-up Test Prep Parameters window. Let's first introduce the settings of this page. Pin type is used to set the pin type that allows adding test points. Includes 5 options: input, output, any pin, via and any pin. Where input is the input pin, output is the output pin, via is via. Any pin is all symbol pins. Any pin is all symbol pins and vias. Pad stack type is used to set the pad type that allows adding test points. Includes SMT or blind, through and either options. SMT blind refers to the welding pad or blind hole. Through means through hole pad. Either of the above two types of pads can be used. Layer is used to set which layer the test point is added to. Top, bottom and either options. If the top layer is used as the test surface, choose top. If you use the bottom layer as the test surface, choose bottom. If you test both sides, choose either. Test method is used to set the addition of test probes in the network. Includes 3 options: single, node and flood. Single refers to adding a test point to a network. Node refers to adding test points to each node of the network. Flood refers to adding test points to each pin of the network. Bare board test means bare board test. If you check this item, they will ignore the allow under component and component representation settings. Automatically add test points to all eligible pads. If there are devices on the top and bottom of the PCB at the same time, it is not recommended to check this box. Text below is the test point identification setting. If you check the display, the test point identification is added along with the test point. The next 3 items are how the test point identification is defined. Where net alphabetic is the addition of multiple test points in the same network by network name. Net numeric refers to adding identifiers for multiple test points on the same network in order of network name and number. String numeric refers to adding identifiers to multiple test points on the same network in a custom character plus number order. Rotation refers to the angle at which the identifying character is added. Available from 0, 90, 180 and 270. Offset is the offset of the added identity character relative to the test point in the x-axis and y-axis directions. Restrictions refer to some constraints on adding test points. Test grid defines the grid settings for adding test points. 0 means no grid constraint. Min pad size refers to the minimum pad size of the test point. Allowing under component means allowing test points to be added to the bottom of the device. There are 4 options: never, top layer only, bottom layer only, and either layer. You can choose according to the actual situation of the PCB. Component representation means which layer of data is used to define the component profile. Used to determine whether the device and test point spacing meet design requirements. Assembly or place bound. Above is the explanation of the general parameters setting item. General parameters can be set up on the pad stack selections page. Select pads for each layer to use as test points. Check database to select pads in the database. Check library to select pads in the pad path. Click OK after the selection is completed. You can automatically or manually add test points. Click Manufacture Test Prep Automatic menu. The interface of automatically adding test points can pop up. Allow test directly on pad means to add test points directly on pad. Allow test directly on trace means allowing the addition of test points on the line. Allow pin escape insertion to add the test point from the pin if there is no suitable position. Test unused pins are allowed to add test points to unused pins. Execute mode. You can set the mode for adding test points. where overwrite mode replaces all the existing test points and adds them. Incremental mode does not replace existing test points when adding test points. Via displacement can set the minimum and maximum distances from pins when adding test vias, corresponding to the allow pin escape insertion setting item. If both are set to 0, no automatic addition of vias will be performed. Click the Generate Test Points menu after setup. You can automatically add test points to the network on the PCB according to the set parameters. After adding, you can click View Log to see the test point added. In addition to automatically adding test points can also be manually added, deleted, exchanged, and queried manually. Click Manufacture Test Prep Manual menu. See the Add, Delete, Swap, and Query on the Options menu. Add is a test point pattern. Click on the pad to add test points according to the set parameters. Add Scan and Highlighted mode for scan highlighting. Will scan and highlight pins without adding test points. Easy to add manually. Delete to delete test point mode. Click on the test pad to delete its test point. Swapping mode for test points. Click on a test point to highlight the network of the test point. At this point, you can click on other pins or vias of this network. Convert the test point. Query to query information mode. Click on the test point to display the attribute information of the pin or via and network where the test point is located. Click Properties to enter the test point property setting interface. There are 3 modes of operation in this interface: add, delete, query, corresponding to add parameters, delete parameters, and query parameters respectively. The parameters that can be set are divided into network parameters and device parameters, which can be set for the network parameters are no test and test point quantity. If you add no test parameters to the network cannot add test points. Test point quantity can set the required number of test points in the network. Parameters that can be set for the device are test point allow under and test point max density, where test point allow under can be set to allow the test point to be below a device. Generally, if you encounter a test point prompt, add is under a pin when the surface mount pad is added. Add the test point allow a neater attribute for the pad on device. After adding the properties, you can add the test points. The last test point max density sets the maximum density of the device test point. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.